Awesome. Hey, everybody. I think you guys have all been interacting with folks on my team, Zach or Nook. So that's the Flow BD team. I'm the third part of it. So great to meet you guys. Uh, Happy to take this in any direction you want to go. Where I thought I would start is I can do a quick intro and then walk, or I guess let me ask you, would it be helpful to just walk through like the beginning of Flow and like the story of how we got here and sort of the longer arc and context of Flow? Yeah. All right.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, I think that's cool. And then we can kind of end where our three amazing teams fit in, especially with the
Yeah.
crescendo launch.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we'll do that. First, quick intro to myself. I actually got into the blockchain space through enterprise blockchain in 2016, which nobody really talks about anymore. But I was at IBM, work helping big banks with their technology, and we started talking about blockchain and how that could fit within the financial industry, and it just became very clear to me right away that blockchain is just better technology for owning and transferring assets. Because I was working on traditional financial infrastructure, which is just like layer upon layer of a mess that was started to be built in like the 70s. And so that time, I realized blockchain was going to be really important, led me to Bitcoin, which also like sort of blew my mind. And then that led me to Web3, um, and have been at a number of startups in the space from exchanges to custody to NFT projects. And I'm at Flow, which I'll walk through the whole context, but Flow's position in the industry is custom built for large mainstream applications. So the applications that we're all used to uh, on the internet, Flow allows all of that to happen. And over the past bunch of years, it's been very clear the sort of limitations of some of the other networks in terms of scalability, speed, user experience. And Flow has a really interesting approach to solving all those problems. So uh, that's a little bit about me. And so I figured the best place to start is I can share. I'm just going to share the our web page and just sort of walk through the timeline on there. Um, and can you guys see that? Yeah. All right. Let's see. All
Yep.
right. Cool.
Yes.
Um, yeah. So I'll just walk through here. Feel free to jump in, ask any questions, or anything I can help with, either now or later. Yeah, you guys are all connected with the team, and so uh, cool. Yeah. So here's the web page. You can see just from the design, Flow is designed to be fun and, you know, consumer applications on the internet that we're all used to. Um, and so that's one of the things that distinguishes it. And sort of the one application, really proving that is the Dapper Sports application. So like Top Shot and NFL All Day, if you go experience those, they're, pretty familiar with the user experience. It's not too far off from, any mainstream mass consumer application. So, and it's something that really couldn't have been built like the way it is in other networks. So, um, it's pretty interesting. And this is still so early in the ecosystem. So there's a lot to be built. So let's just start with why did Flow, why did the team build Flow? Dapper Labs, why did they go embark on this, activity of building a blockchain, launching a blockchain network, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. So Dapper Labs builds CryptoKitties. And to build CryptoKitties, which was the first big blockchain, the first big attempt at a consumer blockchain application, uh, launched on Ethereum back in 2017, 2018. And to launch CryptoKitties, CTO Deet also was one of the authors of the ERC 721 standard, which is the NFT standard that everybody's familiar with, and that unleashed NFT. Oh, sorry. Do you mind going on mute there? Uh, okay. Anyways, and so Tukuchu, do you mind going on mute there, or if somebody can mute? Anyways, um, yeah. So that sort of was the beginning, really, of NFTs. Um, so CryptoKitties was the launch was, you know, in quotes, sort of like broke Ethereum. Basically, the fees and the user experience uh, totally broke the network. Um, in terms of usability and really showed the constraints of Ethereum. And this was back in 2017, 2018. And as the Dapper team built a couple more applications on Ethereum, they started sort of realizing a lot more of the just constraints around building in the network in terms of user experience and fees. And um, the Dapper team wanted to build large mainstream applications and realized, like NBA Top Shot, and realized that was going to be there would be seriously limited and constrained to build that on Ethereum, in 2017, 2018, 2019. Um, and looked around, read, dozens of white papers of all the other networks, and basically realized that what they were looking for didn't exist. And so that led to, this period of invention where the team was like, okay, if we want to do something with the NBA, what's a network that can handle something like that? Um, and that led to the creation of Flow. And so Flow is, let's see, yeah, so Flow was launched in 2020. Had a couple really interesting features. One being this multi-node architecture that allows high throughput, low gas fees, high energy efficiency. Whereas, on Ethereum, there's one node type that does everything. On Flow, there's multiple node types that specialize in certain tasks. Um, so it improves the performance of the network. And then also created Cadence, which is, you guys know, is the smart contract language, which is resource oriented. And yeah, you guys know this, but it's a language custom built for digital assets, and in a lot of ways is safer and easier to use for developers, and adds a lot of features and functionality that you really can't get in other networks. Um, and then heading on down, yeah, and also right around here was the launch of Top Shot. That was, yeah, 2020. Uh, Actually 2021. Yeah, 2020 Top Shot launched. 2021 was when like NFTs blew up, when that was like Beeple and NBA Top Shot, and uh with a crazy sort of like hype cycle into the space. And then the last few years happened. And then but the Flow team has continued building and evolving into being ready for this next phase, which is the Flow Foundation was created in 2023. And it's a standalone entity. Our mission is to support the ecosystem and all of the builders across the ecosystem. Um, and then the big thing that recently happened just a couple weeks ago was Crescendo. And this was, if it in a lot of ways, it feels like just one of the final pieces that the network is really uh in a strong shape right now. So Crescendo, the big thing that it did was made Flow EVM equivalent. And so, Flow is now uh integrated with the larger EVM community, which is the largest community in Web3. And so super exciting. And there's a lot of traction this is a lot of what I've been working on recently is helping to build out the EVM ecosystem on Flow, making sure all the building blocks, all the infrastructure that anyone would expect in a building in Solidity in an EVM anywhere, that they're all supported here. And so that's a lot of where the BD team has been focusing on, um, especially with DeFi. So that's up to now, and that's like today. So it's like super cool. Like, this is happening right now. So it's like really interesting time for Flow, and then just this moment in the crypto market. It's I don't know, feels primed for something cool to break out. So that's a little bit about the history. Happy to go into any of that. Um, Here's some of the numbers. One of the interesting things about Flow is all the big consumer brands that have active projects on Flow, whether that's NBA, NFL, Disney, Dr. Seuss. These are big brand Mattel, like these are big brands that are very serious about their IP and what they do with it. Um, so let's yeah, here's Disney. I'll just do one other part of this. So yeah, you guys have all probably seen this, but just to highlight a few of the really interesting differentiators about Flow. Um, in addition to, everything else with the network, a few technical features that are particularly interesting. EVM equivalent, we already talked about that. Cadence, talked about that a bit. Enhanced security, and easier smart contracts. Uh, Wallet abstraction. So this has been kind of a hot topic with ERC 4337, which came out a little while ago, basically introducing account abstraction um, on EVM. But what's interesting is that Flow has this built natively into the protocol, so it's like super easy to have uh, a different party to submit a contract versus or to submit a transaction versus pay a transaction. So it makes it very easy to do pay gas for your users basically. Um, and so that and a number of other things you can do with wallet abstraction, but it's built natively. It's super easy into the protocol, and yeah, and account linking, uh, which is super interesting. This is what this unlocks is that you can link a custodial wallet and a non-custodial wallet. And why that's interesting is that if you think about the easiest possible onboarding for someone into an application, you can create a custodial wallet for them, and they can link a non-custodial wallet, whether that's MetaMask or Flow Wallet, to their custodial wallet, and then integrate with the decentralized Web3 um, ecosystem. So without transferring the asset out of their custodial wallet. And so why that's interesting is that if you're building an application and you need the asset to be sitting within the custodial wallet, the user can engage and interact there. And if they link a non-custodial wallet, they can list that asset on a marketplace, like on, you know, uh, Floaty today or any other marketplace in the future, without transferring the asset over. And so that unlocks really interesting user experiences. And I'll kind of pause there. That's a lot of sort of the big arc of Flow. And I think it's a really interesting time, and it's great to be meeting folks like you that are building an ecosystem. So yeah, I'll kind of take a second here. If anybody has anything they want to bring up, anything they want to talk about, or any questions.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. It was a really good presentation of Flow and like where we are right now. Just like curious, like what was like the most challenging part for you to like go EVM uh, from like
To integrate the EVM.
yeah,
Cool.
and on
Um,
like the new devs, etc. Like to explain to the community that uh, your EVM right now, like.
Wait, so I'm just trying to understand the question. So what was the most difficult part of the team technically integrating EVM or of us
Both,
explaining?
both of them.
Okay. Or the second part was explaining to
Mhm.
the value of
Yeah.
EVM? Is that
Yes.
okay? Um, well, the team,
It's
oh, well, the team was building that EVM integration for multiple years. So it was an enormous lift, and there was
Mm.
a lot of iteration through the designs. I was not involved in that, so I can't pretend to, you
Okay.
know, comment on it. I'm sure there are videos of Dieter, who's the CTO, talking about it. But it was a pretty significant physical technical feat. Yeah, sorry, I can't go deeper into that. I'll look for a video if I can share with you guys, see if I
Okay.
can
Yeah.
find a video of that. Um, but yeah, and so in terms of explaining it to um the broader sort of Web3 community, that's something that we're doing right now. We're working on, we're at the very kind of early stages of, you
Mm.
know, EVM on Flow is differentiated, and it is super interesting because you can take your Solidity code that you've deployed anywhere, deploy it on Flow, and you get all the benefits of running it on the Flow network. So that multi-node architecture, um, you know, ME, MEV resistance, like things like that, you get all of that sort of baked in with your Solidity code.
Mm. Okay.
So we're it's sort of a process we're going through right now, which is, what are those compelling points? And there's a number of them, and uh, who is that going to be compelling for? So our marketing team also very busy.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, guys, if you have any question to Brian, like anything. Uh, it's-
Yeah, I had a question. Hey Brian, I'm Dio from Pseudocat.
Hey,
Are you good? Do you guys have any trading bots that use Flow and like say we wanted to implement, so right now we're on Solana. Say we wanted to implement Flow into our trading bot, like how would that go?
um,
And say we wanted access to like base meme coins or Ethereum meme coins.
you wanted access to them. You wanted to move them to Flow, or
I'm just saying, would it be like, would we be able to access like ETH meme coins with Flow or using?
oh, I,
No, you're just saying that.
if you can bridge them,
Okay.
then you could. Um, but that would be through like a bridging service, right? If I'm
hmm
understanding correctly.
Okay.
But if you
So
wanted
you
to,
guys don't.
oh, go ahead. Yeah.
I was just gonna say like you guys don't currently have like a meme coin ecosystem at all, or like a altcoin, like
There
a.
there are a number of tokens across the ecosystem that are related to specific apps.
Okay.
And there are some. Is it as big as, as it is on Solana? No. But
Mhm.
if you wanted to dive deeper into that, or you're connected with Zach, right?
Yeah.
He's the guy who would he could
Perfect.
he could jam with you on that all day. Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Thanks.
Hey, Brian, I just have one quick question regarding the wallet abstraction. We are building social login for our platform. So it's like users can only sign up with their GitHub profiles. So currently we were looking into a technical implementation over there, and we found Magic is providing us with some abstraction features. But you said it is natively there, right? Can you point me to some resources where I can check that out?
Yeah. Um, for sure. So, or I'll send this to you in the chat. Mm,
Who can I get in touch with to
Yeah,
get?
I'll share this real quick. This is the just flow.com. So all the stuff I talked about is like all linkable if you have any questions. So wallet abstraction, I just clicked on the box.
Okay.
This is what I sent over to you. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah, social account. Yeah, this is what I was looking for. Yes. Hardware. Cool. We'll check this out. Whom should I reach out to in case we need some help with some demo apps and stuff?
We have Slack with you, don't we?
Yeah, yeah.
Feel free to,
Okay.
if you have any questions, feel free to tag me.
Cool, cool.
Tag me. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that goes for any of you all here. If any questions, feel free to post them in the Slacks we have with you guys and just tag me and I'll make sure the right folks get there. Well, if there's nothing else, I mean, I'd love to hear like how has it been building for you guys in general? Yeah, where like what stage are you all at? Are you excited? All right, Melvin,
Yep.
I'll go to you because you're on my screen right now. They're focusing on you. How's it going?
Pretty good. So yeah, we've been working on the tokenomics piece itself, in terms of figuring out the mechanics and design over there. Apart from that, for us, we have been focused more on the product side. So I'll just give a quick one line of like couple of lines on what we're doing. We're building a Copilot ecosystem where developers can create AI copilots for work. And as a part of it, we are building the first Copilot we are building ourselves to showcase how the whole protocol will work, and then and that is targeted towards developers. The reason why we're going for developers is we want those developers to then go ahead and make the next suite of Copilots, and we'll handle distribution and everything. All of these are fueled by the native token that we will be launching, and we'll be rewarding users and developers with it. And the output for us is AI training data that we can basically sell and make money off. That's where the demand side comes in. Right. So for us, it's very crucial for us to basically get the product out. So we've been focusing primarily on that. We are just researching all the blockchain elements. The only part in the product where we've actually implemented the blockchain part is the wallet abstraction part. We had built the whole solution on an EVM chain. Now we're just importing all of that over. Yeah, that's a bit, and then slowly we'll be building data provenance and everything. So connecting everything with the token and building it on the blockchain. So yeah, lots of stuff happening at the same time.
Yeah, sounds like you're busy. That's awesome. So yeah, super exciting.
Thanks.
So I just wanted to ask one question in the same context. Do you have some solution for data provenance compatible with the Flow blockchain for optimized reads, uh, retrieval of data or something? Maybe because we that is one of the elements in our solution as well, and just want to understand that.
I'm not sure I understand the question. Do you have an example of what you're looking for?
So we'll be
I mean,
mining. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, please.
Now, I was just saying that we'll be taking a lot of data. Like I said, our users will be contributing AI training data. So there are two things that we need to do with it. One is store it, assign provenance to the user who has basically contributed that data so that we can actually give royalties to them in the future. And the third thing is, if the data needs to be usable, we need to be able to retrieve it fast. So we need a scalable infrastructure to basically do that. So this is the part that Tarun is referring to. And we're looking for some solutions on the data storage bit. We're facing a lot of difficulty in terms of where to put it in. So we're thinking of putting it on centralized servers. So yeah, that's kind of one of the technical roadblocks that we're facing.
Yeah, I mean, so one thing that you were thinking was, we'll store the actual data in some centralized form, Well, just store the pointers to that on blockchain. So for just ensuring the provenance. But if there is a way that we can store the data also on chain, right, and be able to retrieve it fast, probably, and something like that, if that can exist, that does exist on flow, probably something that we're looking for.
Okay, I generally understand. So, first, it would be awesome if you could post that question in the Slack, and I'll make sure we get our engineers to give you the real answer.
Okay.
But I will say one of the differentiators on Flow, and one of the areas where it's going to like show how it is different is that storing large amounts of data on chain and doing more high complexity on chain um uh like
Transaction.
contract activity that like that's kind of where the threshold of like where Flow is going to like shine above others. So we're very interested in helping you with what you just said. Like you're exploring the space of like, can we store large amounts of data on chain? Can that work for your application? So definitely let's follow up on Slack. Yeah.
We'll do that. Thanks, Brian.
Uh, yeah, I just have a question. Yeah, I heard you guys were doing like a points reward system, and we have like prize pools with our game. So we're building the first trading and gaming platform on Telegram. We started off with Solana, but now we're gonna be implementing Flow, and we were aware that you guys were doing a points reward system that I think would work really, really well with our prize pools that we do. We've kind of hacked the idea of not necessarily needing an airdrop, but you can do prize pools, monthly or bi-weekly, by getting high scores or just referring a lot of people to the game. So when would points rewards be ready, and how do you think we could implement that with our prize pools? Would be like my first question.
Yeah. So it's coming pretty soon. I should be reaching out to folks shortly. So
Mhm.
I can reach out to you and give you the details on that.
Okay. All right, thanks. And then, has everyone played the game? And you I don't know if you tried our game. I'll send a referral link in the chat just
Yeah,
so you
yeah,
guys can
love
check it
that.
out. And then also, like, how do you see this partnership working with Pseudocat and Flow? Like, what do you guys envision? Like, what are you guys looking for?
Well, I think this is my first time interacting with you. So I'm not sure the conversations you've had with Zach.
Yeah.
So maybe he'd have the context.
Mm-hmm.
So generally, but from a very high level, personally, like we want uh companies to be very successful, building successful businesses using Flow. Like that's what we're here to do, is to like support you to build a successful business, whatever that is. Um, and so we can help in many ways, but that's what we're looking for, is really for you guys to build cool stuff. Yeah, that users use.
Awesome. Awesome. And then for like the investment, do you guys do that with like USDT, or do you do like, is it directly investing in like a bank account?
We do a variety of things. So
Okay, perfect.
yeah, we're flexible with how that works.
Okay, awesome. Um, yeah, I mean that's really all I have. I'm trying to figure out how to send this thing into the main chat. I'll just send it to you.
Brian, I'm going to drop off here soon. I had two quick questions. We've gone back and forth on it. I just wanted to iterate on kind of our dependencies on subgraphs. I think that's going to be something you guys are going to get a lot of questions about for DeFi protocols coming in. Just it makes things simpler. We could host things locally on our own servers. It just costs some time. So that's, again, as soon as that's available, ping me in Telegram. And then I think we had one other line going directly with someone else, but just kind of put on your radar. is getting third web support for Flow mainnet. You had it on PreviewNet, but just making sure that's on the mainnet chain is tracked there. So that makes some things a little easier for Connect and things like that.
Third web, what does that enable? Oh, it's the
third web. It's like tooling on top of blockchains. It's got one of the more popular connection systems that we use on one of our core apps. You can use like Rainbow Wallet Kit and stuff as an alternative, but just wanted to ping that again as I think a dependency that some DeFi and NFT developers are going to look for when they come on chain. So, but yeah, appreciate the background and information. But yeah, I'm looking forward to further conversations.
Yeah, likewise. I'll give you an update on the subgraph soon.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, cool. If there's nothing else, you know, I'm here. You all know how to get in touch with me, and yeah, really stoked about what you guys are building. So let me know how we can help.
Thanks, Brian. We're gonna pop off.
Cool.
Blessing.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. I'll put all the contact info and all the links in the Flow general chat, so we'll have that. And any questions, reach out to Brian, or Zach just popped in, so Zach, but I'll throw everyone's contact info and they're also present. So thanks, guys.
Oh, actually, Zach, I think it's Deo.
Yeah, Dio.
Yes.
I
Sorry, bro.
you got a question? You got a second for a question, Zach?
Yeah, sure. Sorry I was late, you guys. I had was stuck in something that ran super long. But yeah, feel free to ask me any questions.
We were just thinking about the points reward system and how to work that with our prize pools from top gamers in our pseudocat Flappy Bird kind of game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we discussed this sometime before, right? Let me connect you over to the points, the API, so you can get integrated into that. I think it's on testnet now. We're currently working through kind of the initial like breakdown of what that looks like. I guess, where did we leave it off last time?
Just that we were gonna kind of just have prize pools and say that we were gonna work with Flow to give them points rewards whenever you guys figured it out. So kind of vague, but
Yeah.
I guess we can make it make it work.
Got it.
Anyway.
Yeah, I think here we're working with Flipside. Probably I'm hoping by the end of this week, should be able to give you some context as like a general guidance on how to give away the points, the boxes and the keys, depending on which category you fall in. You can I think the way that we're going to structure it is that we'll have a general guideline at the start. And then after that, Flipside will be running the tracking and the administration afterward. So if you think about how on Blast, they have that monthly distribution based on the multiplier and the performance and things. For us, Flipside will be the one kind of running that system. Now, the first batch of partners will be given points ahead of time, and that will kind of cover you for the first period. And yeah, I'll reach out to you here. Give me a little more time. We're almost done with the math, but we can do something where, if users are trading and you're looking at trading fees, right? And so like, for example, if your fees are like 10 basis points, right? And someone makes a 50K trade, they pay $50 in fees, you can give them X amount of boxes for that, right? And kind of if you're depositing money, if you're clicking all those things, we can get those numbers more locked in.
Perfect.
Zach,
Yeah, we'll schedule.
Sorry. Yeah. Zach, sounds interesting. Actually, I just got to know about it. Can we also figure out if we can work that into it? We are basically giving rewards to developers for contributing good code. And currently we have tied up with the Bounty platform to basically do that. I think we can integrate the Flow points as well.
I think Ali will be your point of contact on that side. So Ali will handle points rewards for developer. It falls in a similar system. From my understanding is that when you're interacting on the developer side, that also translates to points as well. So I would say if you don't get an answer from me, let me know. I'll double check back, but I think he's my counterpart for all the dev side of it.
Awesome. Thanks. Thanks, Zach.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Cool. All right. Well, we'll let all you guys go. Get back to it, and yeah, look forward to everything you guys are going to build.